Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a drill. The San Francisco 49ers have paid Trent Williams. It is officially done. The deal has been sealed. Oh, baby, you love to see it. The 49ers offseason of twists and turns at every literal point has come to an end. The San Francisco 49ers pay Trent Williams. We'll get into all the contract details. We're going to give all our live reactions to everything the San Francisco 49ers retain the number one left tackle in the NFL and an argument for the best player in the entire NFL, an argument for the greatest offensive lineman to ever play this game. The San Francisco 49ers paid Trent Williams. Drop your money bag emojis in the chat. We're going to react to it all right now. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see it. Look at all that money in the chat. Oh, baby, we're feeling like Trent Williams right now, who just inked a big time, massive deal. Let's break it all down. This is what Trent Williams has just signed with the San Francisco 49ers. He has signed a 3-year, $82.66 million contract with $48 million at signing, with $25.69 million signing bonus. The San Francisco 49ers have paid Trent Williams. Oh boy, not only did they pay him, they paid him. That's right. And I would imagine, as information continues to come out, this was just announced by his agency, Elite Loyalty Sports, that I do believe that this will probably have him at the top of the list in regards to highest paid offensive lineman in the league. Trying to see. So this is what it qualifies. Most cash for any lineman in year one, $27.65 million. Most guaranteed money for any lineman since 2021, $103 million. Oh, this one's crazy. This one's crazy. $358.8 million career earnings. This contract also has, $183 million total guaranteed. This is the richest non-quarterback in NFL history. Oh boy, you love to see it. They paid him. Oh my goodness, did they pay him? Let's freaking go, dude. Trent Williams, talk about breaking the bank. Oh, I love it, man. Again, I'm not paying it out. That's a lot of money. I'm not paying it out. I'm just thrilled that Trent Williams is a 49er. I guarantee this will end. This will be Trent Williams retiring with the San Francisco 49ers, which is music to my ears. Absolutely what you want to see from this situation. Honestly, you talk about deserving. Oh yeah, that guy's deserving. You remember the references that we made all year, or not all year, but in regards to Trent. Oh yeah, look at the alpha. Look at we paid the alpha. We're bringing back the How to Train Your Dragons references. We brought the alpha back in from Texas today, and we got that man paid. Boy, do you love to see it. I'm so freaking hyped off this one, man. We brought the alpha in and got it done. I mean, considering how this offseason has went, considering all the back and forth, all the twists and turns, and almost literally every direction. Boy, man, can you talk about like the things that have occurred in just like the past 7 days? Brandon Ayuk gets paid. Horrible situation with Ricky Pearsall. We come to find out from John Lynch today that he is very optimistic that Ricky Pearsall will be able to play in games this season. And just like that, the San Francisco 49ers give Trent Williams the payday he deserves, the best offensive lineman in football. And again, this isn't a new thought to come out of my mouth. I've been saying this for probably 3 years. If you pay attention to this channel and you listen to the offensive line discussions that we have, you will know that I have called Trent Williams the best offensive lineman to ever play the game. Oh, and I really, really do believe it. In regards to ranks in APY, David Lombardi just tweeted Trent Williams is third in the NFL currently in regards to APY. Tristan Wirfs is at 28.1 million, Penei Sewell at 28 million, and Trent Williams comes in at 27.6 million. Oh boy, he got paid. Congratulations are in order for Trent Williams. I'm so relieved because again, I think we're starting to understand the cadence for some of these deals. When it starts to feel like things are taking a turn in the wrong direction, that kind of feels like that means the deal's really close. it means we're right up against it, and that's exactly what had happened. We were hearing the reports. This could be a holdout into the season, all of these other things, and then boom, just like that, the Silverback is back in the Bay, and boy, did he get paid. Woo! 49er fans, have you experienced a bigger whirlwind of a week than we have just experienced in the past 7 days? I need a yes or a no. If you say yes, I need you to tell me what you've experienced that has been crazier than what we just went through, not only for the entirety of the offseason, but what we just went through. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. I'm just relieved, man. I'm so happy on so many different fronts. I'm happy for Ricky. I'm happy for Ayuk. I'm happy for Trent. I'm happy for CMC. I'm happy for Brock Purdy. You know who is the biggest winner right now? The biggest winner has got to be Brock Purdy. Yes, Brandon Ayuk got the bag. Yes, Trent Williams got the bag. But man, you got to think that Brock Purdy's sitting over there like, let's freaking go. I got my generational left tackle. I got my all pro wide receiver one. CMC's healthy. Oh, let's go. Let's go. We got new weapons. We've got Isaac Garendo. We've got Cowing. We've got Dominic Pooney. What a great day. What a great day amidst a turbulent offseason. Again, sometimes adversity either breaks you or it makes you. And I think when it comes to this fan base, man, you have to you have to be a resilient fan to be a member of the San Francisco 49ers. And boy, does it feel phenomenal to get these things cleared, to get them out of the way and move on to Monday Night Football against the Jets. Let's go. We got a couple super chats. I want to get to you guys, see what you guys have to say, see what your guys' reactions are to this news. KB says, shout out to the guy that's been animated in the comments and said Trent and BA would be back by week 1. He was annoying, but he was right. I love that. I love that. Look at that. Look at KB showing love to, hey, again, that's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. A lot of adversity, a lot of differentiating opinions, a lot of different feelings, all that stuff, right? We all had just waves and waves of emotions that just felt like we were blowing in the wind for a little while. So I appreciate KB, man. I appreciate that. He said, man, you might have annoyed the crap out of me, but you were right. Love it. Brian says, the league's in trouble. Honestly, I really do. Before I felt like, man, we might be the ones in trouble. Honestly, I'm being 100% honest with you. You would have asked me a week ago, I was like, damn, we're in trouble. I would have been like, yeah, that confidence that we typically kind of roll into the season with is feeling a little less at the moment. But of course, so many things have changed. So many things have evolved. And so with this situation, what an amazing turn of events as the San Francisco 49ers get prepared for this season. And there was one thing. There really was one thing that stood out to me today. When John Lynch spoke about the situation with Ricky Pearsall, right? And I'm going to tie this into the whole team. When he was talking about visiting Ricky Pearsall in the hospital and all those different things of what that process was like and how Ricky wanted to talk to his teammates. And from John Lynch's account, it sounds like they were able to like pull him up on FaceTime in front of the whole party. And the way John Lynch described it was at like a galvanizing moment where these guys put so much effort, put so much time. This is their life's work, the sacrifices for their family, for themselves, for their bodies, everything that they put into this. And all of a sudden, boom, your teammate goes through something that's bigger than ball. It goes through something that's bigger than the stress of haters chirping you in your comments, of people clipping bad plays of you and posting it on social media and talking crap on you. It instantly forces a perception shift. When a player on your team almost loses his life and you have to go through that period of time where you don't know if he's going to live or not, and then you get to see him in that moment from the hospital bed, and oh my gosh, dude, I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine the emotions that were going on when that call happened. And one of the things that I can only try to rationalize and wrap my head around is that had to be an extremely galvanizing moment for this team. Had to be. Had to be. Had to be. It changed the perception. It changed the mindset. It made this contract drama stuff not not seem as big of a deal. Does that make sense? Like, what I think this situation did was put into perspective of what really matters. And when you have a band of brothers, you have a team that rally around one common thing, and this common thing happens to be Ricky Pearsall, bro. Yes, the league's in trouble. The league's in trouble. We talked about, oh, there's some distractions, hangover. I I have goosebumps right now thinking about what this 49ers team's energy is going to look like on Monday Night Football when the entire world is watching. I can't even I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine. Like, I have literal goosebumps thinking about all of these things and bringing it back. Yes, I think the league's in trouble. They might have think, "Oh, look at the 49ers over there. They're at a disarray." I would wager that the situation with Ricky Pearsall brought all these guys together. It brought them all together and it made them reevaluate what is actually important. And again, I love this game because it's played by players. I love the game of football because it's played by people like you or I. Yes, they might be extremely more physically gifted than we are, but they're people just like you and I. And that's what makes the game special. And these moments that galvanize a locker room, that galvanize a team, that can block out the noise, block out the distraction, and focus with this intangible quality that isn't forced, if that makes sense. I think although it was a tragedy and it was really, really scary the way it all happened, I think this could absolutely bring this team together, man. Like, obviously, like, not that they weren't, but man, something about being with a group of men, leaders, alphas, and Ayuk's paid, Trent's paid, Ricky's damn near gonna play. Come on, man. I'm freaking hyped. Roberto says NFC West opponents are punching air. You know who's punching air right now? Robert Saleh. Love you. Love you. Love you, Saleh. But boy, he is heading into a buzz saw week one. Robert Saleh is the one who's punching air. He is heading into a hornet's nest this Sunday. Can you, guys, we already know Levi's is going to be packed to the brim. It's going to be packed to the brim. You don't think fans are going to be charged up? You don't think they're going to take all this anxious anxiety and channel it into this game coming up? You don't think that's going to happen? Oh, Robert Saleh's punching air because the way everything just unfolded, although not like anyone would draw it up, you're going to have a team and a fan base that is going to be seeing black. The I can't wait. I cannot wait to get back to Levi's on Monday. It might be, I don't know. Like, I don't know, but I'm damn near expecting one of the most electric atmospheres that we have ever seen from Levi's Stadium. And I still, to this day, will say the 2019 NFC Championship game. I don't know if I'll ever be in a sporting environment that matches that. And I've been to many Warriors game back when Oracle was Roracle, back when the come up of the Warriors and how loud that place used to get. I was like, man, I don't know if anything has ever rivaled that 2019 game. Who was in that game, by the way? Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers was in that 2019 NFC Championship game, and he's coming back into the Hornets' nest. And boy, we're ready to sting other people that aren't each other. Oh boy, I'm hyped, dude. I'm on another level right now. I'm on another level. Jay Fig says, Niner gang, let's get it, Trent. Let's get to work. Absolutely. You'll love to see it. Blake Lay says, I feel like we just witnessed that scene in Endgame when all the Avengers assembled at the perfect time. Bro, this feels poetic. Like, again, not saying it's poetic because it's beautiful, poetic because it's hectic, because there's adversity, because there's tragedy. And in the end, it's beautiful when you can make it through the storms. You can keep your head above water. And when you get through to the other side, boy, does it feel different. Boy, does it feel different on the other side. And that's exactly how I'm feeling right now. Long Long says, hey, Siri, play Many Men by 50 Cent. No, Siri, literally, please don't play that. No, stop it. Sorry. It was a super chat. Literally, Many Men was going off in my headphones right now. Siri said, all right, you said it. That's hilarious. Many men wish death upon me. Siri's about to start going a cappella. That's wild. That's hilarious. Augustine says, just need Greenlaw. Who will cover for him? Right now, it feels like you're going to probably get Demetrius Flanagan-Fowles and Curtis Robinson most likely there because D. Winters didn't practice today. I think he's still suffering from an injury. And I'm speaking as Devondre Campbell is that next guy. I'm thinking of the third guy. I think we all know it's Fred Warner and Devondre Campbell. It's the third guy, the Sam linebacker, that I think is the one where we're kind of unsure on. And I think the third linebacker will either be DFF or Curtis Robinson in that situation. What's good, Breezy says, today's a great day despite all of the adversity. I agree 100% that it is a great day. Man, I'm literally rocking off 2 hours of sleep right now. James Vegas says, what up, Brad and the SDS? I never once doubted the 49ers office, but they sure did test my patience. I'm hyped for this season. Let's go 49ers. James, OGSDS member for 25 months. That's insane, dude. But man, it is so hard not to be so hyped right now. I literally feel like I can run through a brick wall right now. That's legitimately how I feel. I feel like I could strap up the pads, put me out there, coach. I'm ready. Who they lining up against me with the Jets? I'm ready to go. That's how I feel right now. I'm off 2 hours of sleep. I'm low key delirious, but I love it. I don't think I'd want it any other way. So, as this situation continues to progress, I can't believe we can finally put a bow on it. I can't believe we can finally say it's over. Um, it feels phenomenal. Uh, I love it. Let's go. We got a new member of the Sourdough Squad. Appreciate you joining. 10%. He said, Brad, you just need some smelling salts and you ready to go. Bro, I don't even know if I need those smelling salts right now. I could probably go right now. I could probably go. I could go straight raw dogging it. I don't think I need the smelling salts, man. I think I could just go on pure adrenaline at this current stage of where we're at. So, again, if you're just joining us, the San Francisco 49ers have signed Trent Williams to a monster deal. Let's go over the deal again. I'll show you um, the image that we have along with it so you can visually see it as well. Trent Williams got a monster payday. Well deserved. I literally have no complaints. My only complaint was waiting this long. That was it. But again, we got Trent Williams, who's now going to get a full week of practice, and you love it. And you can see the details that are spelled out here at the bottom of the graphic. You can see a 3-year, $82.66 million deal, 48 M's at signing. That's great. That is phenomenal. And again, you see the smaller details. Says most cash for any lineman in year one, 27.65. Most guaranteed money for any lineman since 2021, 103 million. 358.8 million career earnings, dog, and 183 million total guaranteed. Richest non-quarterback in NFL history. Well deserved, man. Well deserved. You love to see it. Well deserved. I'm not stressing off a single nickel. I'm looking at this situation like, hey, man, the 49ers, hey, and to their credit, I'll say this. I have been critical of the 49ers along the way with how the timing, I've been most critical about timing. That has been the most thing that I've been critical about regarding both Brandon and Trent's negotiations. But again, as we sit here right now, you have to tip your cap to the San Francisco 49ers and getting it done. I don't imagine in any sense that this is an easy thing to do, regardless of the player. That's a lot of money to spend, man. It's a lot of money to give up, a lot of guaranteed at signing. So I understand that there are probably a lot of challenges that go unseen that I might not be privy to. And so I got to tip my cap to John Lynch, Parag Marate, Jed York for just getting this done, man. Just for getting this done, getting it taken care of. And hey, we know there's another big contract coming down the line. I don't know if we want to talk about that all right now. Brad says, what do you think about Grant Cohn's report today regarding John and Kyle on the hot seat? Well, considering he's been manufacturing those two on the hot seat since their inception and announcement to this team, I'm going to always take what he says about those two with an insanely massive grain of salt. So I really don't have much of an opinion of that until it comes from someone else, if I'm being bluntly honest. Chili says these last 3 off seasons have taken 2 decades off my life. Also join that Discord. Is it this cord or is it that cord? I can't remember, but join it. Chili will drop the link in the chat. Best Discord mod in the game if you guys want to join a 49ers group chat. But yes, Chili, that this every time I think, oh, there's no way the next offseason can match the last offseason, the 49ers are like, you sure about that? So with that in mind, I'm prepared for another wild offseason. Obviously, we know Trent. It's going to be Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy is going to be front and center for the payday. So, with that being said, we are going to prepare ourselves mentally for another probably long, drawn out slugfest. I would imagine that will probably go for the entirety of the summer. That's what I'm just expecting. So, if it's not that, phenomenal. But that's what I'm expecting. Jesse Wade, my guy, says Brad, this offseason has been one of the wildest ever. But here we are, 6 days until kickoff and ready to steamroll the NFL. It's wild, man. It's wild. I just have to remind myself, I just have to keep reminding myself that things change so quickly in this league. Things happen so fast. Perceptions and narratives change in a heartbeat. I think that you really just have to the 49ers players say it all the time. They say, be where your feet are. Live in this moment. Be here right now. And I think there's some truth for that if you want to be able to keep your sanity throughout these long, drawn out negotiations with, threats of trades and these holdouts and hold-ins. And, like I said, man, if you're a 49er fan, especially a 49er fan around my age, I was born in 89. Shout out to the 80s babies, last of the dying breed. If you're around my age, you don't know what 49ers ultimate success looks like. You know what heartbreak looks like. Oh, yes, you know what heartbreak looks like. You know what debilitating, crushing heartbreak looks like. That's what you know, right? And so for me, who's a part of that, these off seasons can be challenging. These off seasons can be something that bog you down a little bit, right? Because we don't have that hey, we won, so whatever. We're always like, we're so close. So I'm hyped, man. I think I finally got the energy now to really hone in on this season and focus on the task at hand and just get back to 49ers football, man. I think that's just been the hardest part, coming off a Super Bowl loss, heading straight into offseason drama that lasted all the way till now. Yeah, that can be a challenge, right? That can be something that is a challenge for a fan, right? Someone who it has zero control over the decisions that are made, and is just kind of is going with whatever's happening around them. So, I get it. Uh, Mr. Block Blockies Blockies Warner is Rogers' kryptonite. Monday nightmare. You could you might be able to say Leonard Floyd is Mr. Rogers' kryptonite, because if you guys don't recall, it was Leonard Floyd who made the tackle on Aaron Rodgers that ended his season last year. So that's an interesting wrinkle to this whole situation, and how that's ultimately going to play out, right? But yeah, no, Fred Warner, obviously you kind of think to, I would almost say 49ers defense has been uh, the kryptonite, because you think back to the 2019 NFC Championship game. Rodgers did get us in the home opener week 3, I believe it was, in 2021. So that did happen. I was at that game. I was actually at that game with the Ponte, and watched Aaron Rodgers put together that game-winning drive. That was, remember when everyone wanted D'Amico Ryans fired? I remember that. He won that game, but the whole Tundra turnover, Willis with the blocked punt, Talanoa Hufanga with the scoop and score. When the games have mattered the most, Aaron Rodgers has definitely not had the best of time with the 49ers defense as a whole. So regarding Fred Warner, though, yeah, Fred Warner, dog. I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see this new defensive line. Leonard Floyd, Malik Collins, Hargrave, Bosa. Really excited to see those guys. Really excited to see the new secondary. Excited to see, hopefully, Talanoa Hufanga returns. Hopefully, I think Jair Brown's going to get the start opposite. And then you have Charvarius Ward, Diamador Lenore. And then whether it's Isaac Yiadom or Renardo Green as kind of that wide receiver 3, I'm excited about that. So the linebackers with Devondre Campbell, Fred Warner, and either DFF or Curtis Robinson, because it does feel like D. Winters might have a struggle with that game. Getting healthy, we'll see. He didn't practice today. So, yeah, we'll have to see about that. I do think, though, I'm curious. I'm going to ask you guys this. Let me ask you this in the chat. So based on the 49ers offense not operating with all of these guys together at the same time, meaning no Trent Williams, no Brandon Ayuk, CMC out for a lot of training camp, do you guys think there's going to be any rust with the offensive group? Because as you guys know, it takes a little bit more gelling for offenses to get into rhythm, because there's so many moving parts. There's so many intricacies that come along with it. Granted, all of these guys have played with each other. They've been in the system. It's not like anyone's learning anything new necessarily outside of game plan related. But do you think there would be any rust? I'm just curious, because I already look at the first 4 weeks of the year as pretty much the preseason for the starters. You know, really preseason is more for the backups, more for the other guys. It really is less about the starters. And so I kind of feel like over the last couple years, the first 4 weeks are always typically like effectively the preseason for these teams because they're figuring out their rhythm, they're figuring out certain things, what works, what doesn't work. You get through a month of football, and then you figure out, all right, we're ready to rock, we're ready to go, and things then kind of take off. Now, obviously, 49ers last year, they hit the ground running. What did they start? 5-0, right? They were kicking everyone's behind. Um, at the start of last season, they were gelling, but it was also, again, it was a little bit different circumstances, a little different of a scenario. Obviously, you had Brock coming back from injury, which is a huge element, but obviously you had Trent and you had Ayuk in the building. So I'm I'm interested. I'm interested. I would say they might be a little bit, but I'm not going to sit here and say I'm expecting them to be ultra rusty, not being able to move the football, things of that nature. I think it that's just natural with it being the first game, and these guys, just trying to get back. But again, there could also be some higher power at play, where these guys just lock in on a completely different level of focus when they step on that field, and it just is like it's like riding a bike. You just start pedaling, it all comes back to you. All right, we're good. Let's go. I mean, I would expect that with Trent. I would expect that with Brandon Ayuk. Obviously, they'll have a week. I think that's what I'm currently looking at, that I think I'm most excited about, is that these guys will get a week of practice before this game. I was really concerned about the potential of just having to throw Trent Williams into the game. Like, okay, we signed you on Friday or we signed you on Saturday. Get ready for Monday. At least we get Trent a week of practice to be able to just get back into it, just get back into the groove of things, and just get some reps, do some stuff, and so I'm excited about that. Obviously, with Brandon Ayuk as well. So just a fantastic situation, the way it's all played out. J10 says, Brad, what do you think about the Detroit Lions being everyone's NFC Super Bowl pick? Good. I don't want everyone to pick us to win. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I've seen the comments. I've seen the analysts. Oh, too much distractions. Too much distraction surrounding the San Francisco 49ers. Too much drama. Too much this. Too much that. The NFC West. They're better than you think. Look at the Rams. Look at the Arizona Cardinals. Look at the Seattle Seahawks. They're better than you think. This might be the year it slips out of their hands. Brock Purdy, has he got it? Good. Pick the Lions to win. Pick the Packers to win. Pick the Cowboys to win. I do not care. I actually prefer it. I don't like that the 49ers were betting favorites in every single game. I don't like that. I'm not a fan of that. That feels like a setup. Definitely feels like a setup. I don't want that. Don't favor us. Make us the dogs. I like that better. I like that much better. Do you guys have any other questions regarding any of the signings. What others? There has literally been so many things that have gone down today. It has been unbelievable. Um, with all the different twists and turns from today. Oh, did you guys know that the 49ers have the most cap space in the NFL? Um, before they signed Trent Williams. So, with Trent Williams being signed, there is a huge possibility that they just opened up more cap space. So, I think the 49ers are going to have hands down the most cap space this year than anyone. They took Malik Collins' salary and they converted it to a signing bonus. And um, I do believe that that I think that created I don't have the numbers in front of me right now. I think it created about 5 million in cap space. 5 and some change for additional cap space by doing that. And so the 49ers are good in that regard. They've been able to figure that out. Let's see here. I saw Jason ask for some sound from today's pressers. I got a little bit of sound that I could probably pull up. Let's see. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna, on the spot try to pull up some sound from the presser today. We'll see how well it works. All right, let's do this right now. The vibes are high. We're feeling good. What is the 49ers record going to be today? Not today. For the season. Drop your updated record predictions based on knowing Brandon Ayuk and Trent Williams is currently on the roster. I remember when we did our 53-man roster reaction show, I asked you guys to grade the roster. And we had a grade with a variable to it. I think the grade that I ended on was a B roster without Trent and without Brandon Ayuk. I think with those two guys back into the mix, yeah, I think we're back to being an A roster. A roster across the board. Those guys just carried so much weight as one of the foundational pieces of the offense. So so what can that A roster do? Based on the chat, I see a lot of 14 and 3s, 12 and 4s, 13 and 4s. I think we are all feeling pretty darn confident that this is going to be another season where we are expecting to be fighting for the 1 seed. 1 seed's the goal. And then we go from there. However, this is my one stipulation. I want the final game of the season to determine the 1 seed. So I want the final game of the year to be like a playoff game. I don't like last year. I don't like that. I don't like how that game didn't matter. And then it created a huge gap between those games. I want to make the final game of the year matter for the seeding so that we get all our players, we get everyone out there, we get everyone staying in rhythm so that when they take the break, they're less in line to become kind of like what we saw last year. I think that's my only ask is get the 1 seed, but it has to be determined on the final game of the year where everyone's got to play. All right. I'm going to attempt to play a little bit of sound that I got from John Lynch today. You guys are going to tell me if you can hear it.
God, Ricky Pearsall is here.
All right, so you heard a little bit of it. Did you hear that? Before we go full screen, let you hear some of what John Lynch said in regards to Ricky Pearsall. All right, sounds like we can hear it. Beautiful. Let me get my big head out of the way. And so these clips I got from CanBR and Matt Lively. So shout out to those guys for grabbing this and allowing us to share it with you. So let's take a listen to what John Lynch had to say about Ricky Pearsall.
Ricky Pearsall is here with the team and doing really well. And just wanted to address that situation from a team perspective. We just all feel incredibly blessed. Was able to be down at the hospital, and if I heard it from one person, I heard it from so many down there. Nothing short of miraculous that he came out of this as good as he did. On behalf of Ricky and his family, I talked with Ricky this morning. He just wants to express, and the team wants to express, our gratitude to a variety of people. Number one, the San Francisco Police Department. They were incredible in their response. They were incredible at the hospital. I want to, in particular, recognize Joelle Harrell.
As high as it goes.
I met her husband, Frank, who happened to be in charge of everything at the hospital at San Francisco General. But his wife was
too low
on the scene, and I think we've all seen the measures she went to make Ricky comfortable. And she was there for him in a real rough time, and I know how appreciative Ricky is of that. We're appreciative to the entire police department. They just were tremendous, from the police chief, Bill Scott, on down. The folks at San Francisco General, the care that they gave Ricky and his family, the respect, the way they handled things was just was unbelievable, and we're eternally grateful for that. I want to
make a contribution and get on the field this season for the Niners.
Oh yeah. He's doing remarkably well. It's kind of uncharted territory. It's not every day you deal with something like this, but we just felt ultimately, probably if it was just this scenario, he hadn't had the other shoulder and all that. It was just a lot for him to work through. If you just were looking at it physically, I thought too much to ask, and I relied on our medical experts. They felt too much to ask to come back within the next 4 weeks, but so we made that decision to at least give him that time. But he's doing remarkably. He's so much better today than he was yesterday. Really, really miraculous. Didn't touch organs, and feels like all the nerve stuff is good. I mean, it's pretty remarkable. All this going on, we had a team party that was scheduled. When I got to the hospital and visited with Ricky, it's one of the first things he said, "Mr. Lynch, what's going on? I'd really like everyone to go to that party, and I'd also like to talk to some of my teammates." I said, "Ricky, take care of yourself," but kind of a cool moment. We were able to pipe Ricky into the party, and he FaceTimed the entire group, and that show of love and respect was a real special moment for our team.
That part right there, I talked about that earlier on stream, where apologies for the audio quality. It's low audio to begin with. So I think that's just a really cool situation. Like I said, the situation in of itself is not cool. It's actually terrifying. The Ricky just absolutely blessed to be able to come out of this thing the way he has. I mean, he was in the building yesterday. It's crazy, dude. Crazy. Man literally walked to the ambulance, was discharged from the hospital in less than 24 hours, was back at work within 48 hours. That's how you know it means a lot. And I saw something where I think John Lynch said something about how Ricky was like, "Man, I'm not injury prone." So it's been weighing heavy on Ricky. And I've talked about it. You know, with Ricky, he played 5 years in college and he didn't miss a single game. But he gets to the NFL and he had 3 injuries since he was drafted. And then he gets shot. He missed all 3 preseason games. So it's weighing heavy on him. And then he gets shot. And I think the resilience that he has in this situation speaks to the type of football player he is. I don't think he's injury prone. As I said I think he's dealing with bad luck. There's a lot of luck that comes along with these injuries, and that's what I contributed it to, was just some bad luck right now for Ricky Pearsall. And I think we can all see that this dude's tough as nails. And hearing the way that he's been received through this situation from his teammates, and just them looking at him like, dude, you took a shot and you're here, you're in the weight room 48 hours after you got shot in the chest. I'm telling you, man, like we can get super locked into football as just like guys who throw balls around and hit each other. But it's really important to remember that there is a human being playing underneath those pads, underneath those helmets, and real life things impact them. And obviously, the constant narrative about Ricky Pearsall was probably weighing really heavy on him and making his job more difficult than it needed to be. And and the fact that he's talking about that after being shot speaks to that. And I think one of the things that I'm happy that was taken away from this situation from a lot of fans is how tough he is. And I think that's great for Ricky because he is tough. He's proven he's a tough son of a bee, and with how he went through that whole situation. And as a result of that, I'm happy that fans are going to get off his back about being injury prone and get back to supporting the first round draft pick who has yet to step foot on an NFL field and be the support that we're supposed to be. Like you guys know, if you guys know anything about me and the way that I evaluate, I'm always going to give the younger guys some leash unless they prove to me they don't deserve the leash. And so with Ricky, after going to training camp, to me, that was a guy who deserves some leash. I saw a guy who was talented. I saw a guy who has potential. I saw a guy who had a little bit of unlucky injury history. So I'm not going to crucify that guy for getting dinged up. I played football. I spent a lot of time in that freaking training room, not because I wanted to. I don't want to sit in there getting stem and ice all over my body for what felt like hours on end. Like, I don't want to do that. These guys don't want to do that. So I would say, even though this was a challenging situation, there are positives that I think are going to come from it. And I think this team is made up of the right stuff. It's made up of the right type of people, the human element of football. I think they're made up of the right type of guys that can take this adversity and actually grow stronger from it. And again, I do believe that this adversity is going to change the perception of the season of the fans, or of the players. I mean, think about it, right? You just lost the Super Bowl, right? And in your mind as a professional athlete, that probably feels like the most crushing thing you could go through until you see your teammate almost die, until you see your guy get shot in the chest, just doing a normal everyday thing that any one of these guys could be doing. Situations like this have a way of realigning perspective. And when the most recent thing that you've been through is a loss of a football game, a big game, mind you, but a loss of a football game, and you're like, crap, dude, that guy almost just died. He almost just lost his life. It changes something. It changes something inside of you. It changes your perspective of life. It changes and realigns what's important. And because I do think this locker room is made up of guys that are made of the right stuff, they're going to be able to take those things and they're going to be able to turn it into abundance. And so that's why, like, initially, not great. But after I keep hearing more and more about this situation, I really am starting to believe that the 49ers are going to figure out how to turn this into a moment of strength as a team. I really, really do. So, what an unbelievable situation. What a crazy, crazy week. 49er fans, you deserve to take you deserve to take a bit of a bow for this situation. Just being able to endure it and get through it, because there's definitely a lot of twists and turns along the way, for sure. But again, the light, we see it. It's at the end of the tunnel, and I'm feeling rejuvenated. I'm only off 2 hours of sleep, but I feel fantastic. I feel ready to go. And again, I would imagine there's a buzz, there's an energy inside that locker room that, I don't know, maybe it's been there, maybe it's heightened today, then maybe it's been, I don't know, man. When you put that alpha back in there, when you put BA back in there, your boys are paid, they're happy. I think it changes. I think it changes some things. So overall, this live feels kind of symbolic to me. Like, as we're sitting here right now, kind of closing it out, this live feels like we're closing out the off season. Like, it feels like we can finally put closure to this off season, and that feeling is fantastic. The fact that we can sit here right now, September 3rd, 2:55 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and be like, all right, the off season's over. It's over. I feel like the second I get off this live, we're done. We're done with the contract drama. We're done with anything that's come and happened throughout this. We're done with it. It's over. This is now officially a new year. And God, that feels good, man. That feels freaking good. I haven't felt like it's been a new year since the start of last year. So, much needed closure. And very, very excited about that. So, I'm going to say, once we kind of get through the initial, like, excitement of the Trent Williams deal and that, getting through the information of a lot of today's pressers and all of that stuff, we are then going to shift right into the New York Jets, and that is a great place to be. Everyone, the fans, the players, the front office, all with one goal in mind, and that's beating the freaking Jets. So I'm super hyped off this, guys. I hope you guys are hyped too. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. If you're rocking with the SDS, smash that like button. I have to say thank you to all you guys for rocking with me through this off season. I know for sure it was challenging for all of us. I know there was points where people were throwing tomatoes at me every time I provided the latest update with what was happening. We made it. We got through it. I appreciate your guys' patience with me. I appreciate you guys continuing to rock with me and working through this situation with us. We've had to go through a lot of things this offseason together, and I appreciate how we've come together at the end of it and how we are going to now move forward into the season. So thank you guys for continuing to ride along and your patience throughout all of this, because our patience has definitely been tested. It's definitely been tested. All right, guys. Appreciate all you. Grab your cookies on the way out. Smash that like button. Boy, it's officially Jets week now. Let's go. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to